Last week, after an underseas fiber optic cable running between Sweden and Latvia was damaged by so-called external influence, Norwegian officials seized the Silverdania, a member of Russia's shadow fleet. Enacted to evade Western sanctions, this convoy of Russian tankers, some of which sail under the Central African nation of Gabon, export up to 70% of Russia's oil. Price caps be damned. But Putin's shadow fleet threatens far more than economic consequences. Since mysterious explosions in the Baltic Sea ripped apart Nord Stream natural gas pipelines in 2022, all eyes have been on energy warfare. The Baltics. What a lesser-known region can tell us about the future of war. The Soviet Union abused pipeline infrastructure oriented on an east-west axis to isolate Soviet socialist republics from continental Europe. The Kremlin still abuses this carrot-and-stick approach today by taunting EU energy users with the prospect of a cold and miserable winter. Putin tiptoes in the gray zone between hot and cold war by targeting energy infrastructure. Russia attacked Ukraine's largest private energy service provider, DTEK, 13 times in October 2022 alone. That same month, hydroelectric power stations in Ukraine also suffered 22 individual Russian attacks. The US and Western Europe have been slow to mobilize, while a 2021 report from the Baltic Security Foundation predicted the vulnerability of maritime energy infrastructure. That region is still vulnerable to Putin's shadow fleet today. But Baltic security has slowly permeated the consciousness of policymakers in the US and abroad. In 2020, Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State, for whom Trump just revoked security detail, announced a plan for the US to support the Three Seas Initiative to build a north-south infrastructure access and break a Soviet tool of power in Eastern Europe. In 10 days before we left office, Biden imposed sanctions on 180 tankers in Russia's shadow fleet and blacklisted 2 of Russia's biggest oil companies from the Western financial system. How will Trump, who described tariffs as
the most beautiful word to me in the dictionary,
balance
America first
foreign policy with this promise to expand the Department of Defense?
And we will soon have far and away the strongest military that we've ever had.
Only time will tell. But the Baltic States won't wait patiently by while the US struggles to make a move. After a string of attacks to underwater cables, NATO, which Trump has threatened to pull out of, launched the Baltic Sentry Operation, which promises to ramp up military surveillance in the Baltic Sea to monitor the 2,000 ships which cross the NATO lake every day. A Silicon Valley company deployed an AI-powered system in conjunction with the British Defense Ministry to, quote, track potential threats to underseas infrastructure and monitor the Russian shadow fleet. The Baltic states have been working for the past 2 decades to end their grid reliance on Russia. I'm filming this on February 10th, one day after the Baltic states broke with BRELL and synchronized with the European Common Grid. I spoke with Dr. Rimvydas Baltaduonis, energy economist at Stanford and Lithuanian to learn more.
And in some ways, Russia is very smart at keeping you dependent. When it comes to costs, for the Baltics, more than anybody else, it is very clear what you get when you get something for free. But then you give up control of your system. Lithuania was paying the highest price for natural gas in the whole Europe. And it was low while Russia was seeing that it's receiving some kind of concessions from Lithuanian government. The minute you don't go the path that they want, they jack up the prices.
Using a link between Lithuania and Poland, Baltic energy users are expected to see a less than 5% fluctuation on their utility bill and are not expected to get any outages, in part thanks to 85% co-financing by the EU. A 2024 article published by Energy Policy Journal suggested that Russia would disconnect the Baltic States from BRELL before they were ready to synchronize with the European common grid. Even though Putin has demonstrated
how effectively Russia weaponizes its energy resources,
he's not yet used his card in the grid politics game. But why? Well, Putin has kept his cards close to his chest. Maybe the bark of a new administration encouraged Putin to let the US make the first move. But the Baltic states are building their security toolkit to deflect Russian blows, regardless of volatile support from the US.